Hello everyone, welcome to JC Academy. I'm Aradhana, your Paper 1 educator. Continuing with the series, this is part 4 of the logical reasoning where we are discussing the latest previous year questions which have been asked in the exam, that is December 2025 attempt. JC Academy is offering a foundation course for paper 1 with multiple validity options. The classes are recorded in nature and bilingual in language. Also, complete foundation course for paper 1 plus paper 2 management is being offered. The classes are live and recorded in nature. The language is English and bilingual. For any query, you can call on the given number and the live batch is starting from 19th of January 2026. Now, question number 1, we have to identify the following statements and it is from the topic of conversion. पहले हम कॉन्सेप्ट देख लेते हैं. कन्वर्जन में what we are supposed to do, we are supposed to switch the subject with predicate and predicate with the subject. In such a case, the propositions E and I, they are valid in nature, while the propositions A and O are invalid in nature. Now we have to identify the correct statements. The conversion of O is valid. No, it is a wrong statement. The conversion of A is an A proposition. Wrong statement. The conversion of E is conversion by limitation. Wrong statement. Although this statement is true for contraposition. If you have seen the previous part, I have discussed this. This was a previous year question. So the conversion of E proposition is conversion by limitation and it is valid in nature, but only in the case of contraposition. The conversion of I proposition is valid in nature. This is a correct statement. So our option number 4 will be the correct answer. Question number 2. The topic is types of argument. We have various types of argument. Now, argument, what is argument? It is a collection of statements which is intended to support a conclusion. PPC, we have two premises on the basis of which we infer a conclusion. So argument, it is a collection of statement. This is a single statement, this is a single statement, and there is some conclusion, and together they form an argument. Arguments can be deductive or inductive in nature. Deductive, the mnemonic is GDP. That is from general to particular, deductive. For inductive, the mnemonic is PIG. That is from particular to general. So for deductive, if we are going from general to particular, obviously the conclusion will be following the premises. Because general means which is universal in nature, and if from universal we are going to a specific instance, the conclusion will be followed. While in case of inductive, where we go from particular to general or from specific to universal, the conclusion probably follows. It is not 100%. In deductive, the conclusion follows 100% from the premises, but it is probable in nature when we talk about inductive arguments. Now, deductive arguments can further be valid or invalid. So, they are valid or invalid in nature, while inductive are strong and weak in nature. Now, coming back to the question, the terms validity and invalidity do not apply to inductive arguments. Let's see. Inductive arguments may, do we have valid or invalid? No, we have strong and weak. So, this is a correct statement. In inductive argument, the conclusion does not have sufficient ground in the premises. Inductive is PIG, like from particular to general, and the conclusion is probable in nature. Why? Because it does not have a sufficient ground. So, A and R both are correct, and R is the correct explanation of A. Answer number 1 will be the correct option. Next question, question number 3. The topic is distribution of terms. Now, we will study the concept first. We have 4 propositions A, E, I and O. A stands for universal affirmative. E stands for universal negative. I stands for particular affirmative and O stands for particular negative. When I talk about the term distribution, you just have to keep in mind one thing. Distribution means 100%. Anything which is 100% is in nature, it is said to be distributed. Like all. No. All means everything is included. सब कुछ हम उसमें include कर रहे हैं. No means nothing is included in that. It is empty. तो जो चीज हमारी 100% होगी उसको हम डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन हम उसको एसोसिएट टर्म दे देंगे. अब देखिए, अगर मैं बात करती हूँ ए प्रोपोजिशन की. ए प्रोपोजिशन सेज ऑल एस आर पी. यहाँ पे जो ऑल है, सी एस इज द सब्जेक्ट एंड पी इज द प्रेडिकेट. ये आपको पता है. अब जो ऑल है वो एस के साथ है कि पी के साथ है? इट इज एसोसिएटेड विद एस. सो ऑल एस. सो ओनली subject will be distributed. If I talk about E proposition, no S is P. कोई भी S P नहीं है, दोनों अलग अलग हैं. यानी जो no है वो S के साथ भी है और जो no है वो P के साथ भी है. इसलिए हमारा सब्जेक्ट और प्रेडिकेट दोनों डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड हैं. अगर मैं वेन डायग्राम की बात करूं, सो ऑल S is P will be denoted like this and no S is P will be denoted like this. I. Some S is P. Some S is P. Both are overlapping with each other. So neither subject nor predicate is distributed. O. Some S is not P. Not किसके साथ लगा है? P के साथ लगा है. So only predicate will be distributed. आपको समझ आई बात? जो 100% है, all और no, जिनके साथ वो एसोसिएटेड है, या सब्जेक्ट या प्रेडिकेट या बोथ, वही चीजें डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कहलाएंगी. नाउ ए प्रोपोजिशन ऑल एस आर पी. सो ओनली सब्जेक्ट इज डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड. सो ए गोज विद ऑप्शन नंबर 3. E. No S is P. So both are distributed. So both are distributed. E. So option B goes with 1. I proposition neither is distributed. C4. And O proposition only predicate. D2. So option number 2 will be the correct answer. This is the concept of distribution. So anything which is 100%, it is distributed. It is either all, it is either no or not. Question number 4 from fallacy. Now the first statement says, in the argument from ignorance fallacy, we have given 4 fallacies here. Ignorance fallacy, hasty generalization, begging the question, and the fallacy of amphiboly. So from ignorance fallacy, something is accepted as true because it is not proven false. Like aliens exist because nobody has been able to prove that. That is ignorance fallacy. Hasty generalization, a general truth applied to a particular case, ignoring its uniqueness. Let's see if it is correct or not. In begging the question fallacy, an event is wrongly accepted as the cause of some other event. Fallacy of amphiboly occurs in arguing from premises whose formulations are ambiguous because of their grammatical construction. This is correct statement. This is also correct statement. We have to identify which of the following are not true. Not true means we have to identify the false statements. Now, this option number C, begging the question, an event is wrongly accepted. It is not actually begging the question. It is false cause post hoc fallacy. Begging the question is circular fallacy, which moves in circles and circles. So conclusion is assumed in the premises. That is, circular fallacy begging the question. And for hasty generalization, this statement is for fallacy of accident. तो हमें fallacy कुछ और दी हुई थी और जो उनकी definitions थी वो कुछ और दी हुई थी, इसलिए जो हमारा ऑप्शन नंबर 3 होगा दैट इज बी एंड सी वो करेक्ट हो जाएंगे। आपने क्वेश्चन अच्छे से पढ़ना है, विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग आर नॉट ट्रू, हमें फॉल्स स्टेटमेंट्स बतानी है। सो हिस्ट्री जनरलाइजेशन, moving from few cases to a general rule. Accident fallacy, applying the general rule to like specific special cases only. Next question is from Hetvabhas. A fallacy where an inference is contradicted by perception or some other non-inferential praman. A fallacy where one inference is contradicted by other inference. A fallacy that disproves the very proposition which is meant to prove. A fallacy of irregular middle. So these are the 5 types of fallacies. I have discussed them in previous classes also. So savya vichara means the irregular fallacy or the irregular hetu. Viruddh is the contradictory reason. Asiddh, unproven. Sat pratipaksh is the counterbalanced, and badhita is the contradicted reason. We have to identify the sat pratipaksha. The first option is for badhita, where it is contradicted by perception or some other non-inferential praman. It is not because of anuman, it is because of perception or some other non-inferential praman. This is the definition of badhita fallacy. A fallacy where one inference is contradicted by another inference. This is an incomplete statement. Although it represents sat pratipaksha, but it is incomplete in nature. A fallacy that disproves the very proposition which is meant to prove. This is the correct statement for sat pratipaksha. And the fallacy of irregular middle is savyabhikara. Okay, this is wrong. Answer will be 3. Answer is not 2, answer is 3. So, a fallacy that disproves the very proposition which is meant to prove is sat pratipaksha. That is all for today's class. I hope कि आपको जो concept है along with the questions समझ आया होगा कि हमें concept को कैसे apply करना है। आजकल UGC नेट में direct questions नहीं आते हैं, application based questions आते हैं. So you have to have a very strong foundation conceptual clarity before like you are solving the questions, you are giving the mock, or even you are solving a previous year question. Once again, a quick reminder, a foundation course for paper 1 is offered by JC Academy. Also, complete foundation course of paper 1 and paper 2 is being provided. These are the social media handles of JC Academy. If you have not connected to it, please subscribe the channel and connect to these social media handles for getting regular updates. And that is all for today. Thank you so very much. I hope you loved the class. Do share it with your friends and take care. Bye-bye and happy learning.